Hi, welcome to Pathways of Hope. Let me read the gospel message for today. John chapter 1, 35 to 42. The calling of the first disciples in the Gospel of John. The next day, again, John was standing with two of his disciples, and he looked at Jesus as he walked and said, "Behold, the Lamb of God." The two disciples heard him say this, and they followed Jesus. Jesus turned and saw them following him and said to them, "What do you seek?" And they said to him, "Rabbi," which means teacher, "where are you staying?" He said to them, "Come and see." They came and saw where he was staying, and they stayed with him that day, for it was about the 10th hour. One of the two who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his brother Simon and said to him, "We have found the Messiah," which means Christ. He brought him to Jesus, and Jesus looked at him and said, "So you are Simon, son of John. You shall be called Cephas," which means Peter. Today, we are reflecting on the call of the first disciples in the Gospel of John. And I have two interesting truths that I want to give to you. First, when John mentioned he is the Lamb of God, what was he talking about? Well, during their time, the Lamb of God was a representative of what was offered to God in sacrifice, so that people will again return to the Lord. And it seems that image was pointing to Jesus as the one who would bring us back to God. Of course, the two disciples said, "Let's go." And as soon as they were approaching, Jesus looked at them and, "What are you looking for?" And then they asked, "Where do you live?" And then he says, "Come and see." The second point is this. If the Lamb of God is the one that will bring us back to God, what did Jesus say, the Lamb of God, to the two disciples? Come. Come and see. It's an invitation to come and live with Him. During that time, if you were to live with someone, it means to begin a relationship. And He was inviting these two disciples to come. And eventually at the very end, there is an interesting conversation with now Simon, who was brought to Jesus. And he was asked, "What's your name?" And then he gives, "You are Simon, right? Now I name you Peter." Peter means the rock. The renaming of Peter means that as soon as you enter into a relationship with God, your destiny and your future changes. Your name is different. You become a totally different person. The Lamb of God is the one who will bring us back to God. And we are curious to approach the one who would bring us back to God. And Jesus, the one who would bring us back to God, invites us, "Come. Come. Come. Have a relationship with me." The one who brings us back to God is inviting us to have a relationship with Him. And if we say yes, our lives will be changed. Our name will be changed. And we will have a different future. I hope all of us will be courageous enough to say yes to the invitation of Jesus in our life. Come. Continue to have a relationship with me. God bless you, and I hope that this message is a source of encouragement for you today.